Welcome back. This is chapter 14 of the Rust book series. Now, your code works locally, but shipping it is like moving boxes without labels. Chapter 14 slaps labels on everything, from profiles, docs, features, workspaces, and publishing. Dev builds optimize for feedback. Release builds optimize for speed. Profiles make it explicit. As you can see here, we have a profile of .dev with an optimized level of 0. And when we do a profile.release, we like to tune it. We like to make sure that it's stripped of all symbols, and we like to make the optimization level 3. Next, you can see we have docs and examples. If it isn't documented, it doesn't exist. If you just put the triple slash, that's considered a document. So as you can see here, we have examples, use task core. You're going to see later on that when we generate the docs, it's going to show up as a full-on website with our docs. Shipping optional pieces with features. Users pick what they need. You can keep the binaries lean. For example, here you can see our default has extras, and in extras, there's nothing. But if you were to imagine we split the responsibility, like in our library crate, we have a task core and a task CLI. And our task core is mainly all of our libraries, such as our storage.rs, our task.rs, and our lib.rs. And our task CLI is our main library that handles our input and output on the terminal for what we want our task manager to do. That's it. So before we end off the video, I just wanted to kind of show you a quick demo of what our new chapter 14 looks like here. So we have our task CLI, which contains our main.rs, and our task core, which contains our library.rs, storage.rs, and task.rs. Now, the only difference between these two is our cargo, and as you can see, we've packaged it by calling it task CLI, giving it our version, our edition. Now, don't get this confused. This is not 2025. This is just an edition of cargo that we're using. Then you can give it a description and what license you're using, and then this is the dependency. So if we have task CLI, we are depending on task core. Same thing on this one. We have our package. It's task core, and as you can see here, we have our default of extras with nothing. You really don't need these, but maybe later on in the future, when you actually have extra modules, you can add them here. Here we give our path to the library, as well as all of our favorite descriptions. And here's the fun one here. It's the repository. So you can actually reference where your Git repository is and use that when you do a publish. And you'll see it when we run the publish command, that it's going to say, hey, this is not Git certified, like this doesn't have a, it's not committed to the Git, so please commit. And there's ways of how we can get around that as well. So anyways, let's go through this. And then finally, our last cargo.toml. This contains our members, our task core, task CLI, our resolver, and our profiles. So we have a profile dev and a profile release. So moving on, let's talk about this. So if you look here, if we do cargo doc --open -p task core and run this bad boy, you're not seeing it here, but let me just pull up this guy right now and see if we can show you. Boom. And just like that, you can see that we have our doc. This doc consists of our examples, which is task core, how to create the task, and what asserts we can use. This is just fairly simple, but we have also modules here and task. So you can see we have our structs, our enums, our traits, and in storage we have our functions of saving task. Gives us the signatures of each of them. Now you might be wondering, where did it go? Where did this come from? Well, let's look. So as you can see here, when we go to task core CLI, we got a main.rs, No, it's task core. I think it was task.rs. You can see here we have the triple comments, and we have examples, and we've kind of documented how we can create a new task. And that's pretty much it. So just with cargo doc, we can create docs. If our module already has the signature, we're already going to get the signature for free, but we can just do triple slashes to create actual comments as well, or actual documentation points as well. Next, we're going to see that we can do a cargo publish of task core and do a dry run, which means it's not going to actually go through. And when we do it, you can see that one file in the work directory contains changes that were not committed. So you actually need to have something committed into Git in order for you to actually do a dry run or a publish in general. Now, how can we get around this? We can do something called the allow dirty. So if we do allow dirty, you can see we're updating, we're packaging, packaged, we're verifying, and we're finished. Just like that. We're finished and we're uploading, but we're aborting because it's a dry run. So that's pretty much it. And as you can see here in Target, we've generated our release task CLI.exe. And if I were to essentially run this, boom, there you go. We have a working task manager CLI app that's completely a crate. Yeah, that's pretty much it for chapter 14. Next, we're going to move on to smart pointers, and that will be the end of this series. It's been a long ride. We've gone through a lot of information. I hope you've learned, a little bit about Rust, even if the videos weren't as well organized as I would like it to be. I was new to Rust, so for all of you watching, this is essentially my first time looking at Rust with like a whole project mindset. So next, we're actually going to cover C, and we're going to work on a project called the Sprinkler System, and I'm going to bring in a mentee of sorts who's going to help me in designing this whole thing. And I hope you guys are excited for that. If you've been following along, please make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below if you enjoyed this video, and let me know what you liked about the videos and what you didn't like, and anything else that I could improve upon when making these videos. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, have a good one. Bye.